Good morning, guys. You see behind me? That's my new backyard. So I'm meeting with a landscaping company today. They're gonna do some measurements and get, I don't know what, but I had to meet with him, or I have to meet with him now. I'm waiting for him to arrive so that we can get this process started. We're about to close escrow, aka close all the paperwork, so that we can finally start moving in here. It's been such a long process because escrow usually takes about a month. But we're nearing the end to that and getting closer to getting all this set up. I'm still in disbelief how huge this backyard is. Like, is this real life right now? All right, y'all. I'm stuck in traffic, but I just wanted to check back in with you guys and let you guys know that the meeting was successful. So this is the second meeting I've had with them. The first one was just an introductory meeting just to kind of figure out what the business is about, how they do business, who's involved in the business, and just seeing their work. This one is more like solidifying the ideas that I discussed in the first meeting after hearing about their business and stuff. They would ask me questions like, okay, well, do you like this picture, this picture? Why do you like this? Why do you like this landscaping? What about this pool? What do you like about it? With this one, it was more like, hey, I already have all your notes, but I do want to talk to you a little bit and just pick your brain and see, you know, who you are as a person, how you live your life, like on a very surface level, right? Like, we're not talking about like my childhood and stuff, but it's more like, you know, what do you do when you relax? You know, what does that look like? So I told them, like, you know, we're very functional people, we're very active people, and we have a lot of friends, yay to that. And we like to entertain, we like to stay active. I do have a kid and 2 dogs. So I want to be able to use my backyard for all of that, like taika play, dog play, a poop area. He's like, well, do you want to plant some stuff? And I'm like, nah, I don't want a veggie garden or any of that stuff, because let's be real, that's just not who I am at this point in time in my life. So after that, he takes his notes, he's gonna do all the measurements, and now we go into the rendering phase, aka where they draw a picture. But what's really cool is that it's gonna be a 3D render. So instead of it being a flat, you know, use your imagination type of drawing of the potential that they see in my backyard, while incorporating all of the shit that I want my yard to do and feel like, this is a little bit more interactive. They say they even have like VR where you actually go into it excuse me, go into it and like look at things from different angles. So this is what the pool's gonna look like from overhead, from the side. This is what the plants are gonna look like. If you sit here, this is what that's gonna look like. So I'm super excited for that, and that happens in 3 weeks, which are gonna fly and they're gonna soar, because next week we're going to Japan and Taiwan to visit family in Taiwan and to work in Japan. And then as soon as we come back, a day later or 2, then we go and we see our first render of our backyard. And I asked them, like, hey, is it gonna be okay if I can vlog it? They were like, I think so. I didn't say vlog because not many people know what vlogging is. So I'm like, is it okay if I film it? And they were like, yeah, I don't see why not. Let me just check with the bosses, but I think it should be okay. Okay, so now you guys are caught up. I can't wait to share that with you guys. But I do have like a 30-minute drive back to the office because we are filming some more podcasts. And because we're leaving to Japan, we're not going to be able to film it because we usually film 1 a week. So we're going to stockpile 2 because we're going to be out for 2 weeks. And in the car, I try, and I haven't done this for a while, so I'm not even going to front, but I really try to listen to podcasts, because kind of like this vlog, you learn stuff from me, right? Hopefully, like, or you learn stuff that I do that works, or you learn about things that I do that didn't work for me, and somehow, in some way, you apply it to your life, right? As much as we want to deny it, it happens. I've impacted your life. And just the thought of you watching me impacts my life, right? Like what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, all of that. So this interaction, you take something away from that. So I don't like sitting in traffic and not doing anything, right? So I'll listen to talk radio, or sometimes because my brain gets so busy, I just want to listen to really good music, and not music that's on the radio, not to throw shade, but I just don't like it. So I'll listen to really good music, and I really try to listen to either the instruments, or I try to listen to the lyrics, and I really try to connect with it, because I feel like I can always learn something, because, I don't know, I just feel like I'm always trying to learn somehow. Anyway, so, the thing that I was like, I don't know if I've always been doing it, but I try to do it, is I listen to podcasts, right? So I listen to self-development podcasts, I listen to business podcasts, and I just listen to just people having conversation podcasts, one of those being Joe Rogan, where he does have conversations with very interesting people. This episode, you guys, is blowing my fucking mind. And I recommend that you guys listen to it if you want to just kind of hear a different, new, at least it's new for me because I've never heard of it, but just a new perspective on what happens to your life after death. It's gonna get a little bit deep, and I try not to get too deep because I just feel like when I get too deep into something, it prevents me from living in the now, and I try to be present as much as I possibly can. So, without getting too deep, there's this episode, it's episode 1284, so 1284, Joe Rogan Experience is the name of the podcast, and he's interviewing this guy named Graham Hancock, and I forgot what this guy's title is. Either he's a professor, I don't know, because he's talking about anthropology, archaeology, biology, science. He's talking about so many different things. I kind of missed, oh, and he's an author. So I just kind of missed what his official title was, but pretty much he's this really smart guy with a lot of different accolades and achievements, right? I'm gonna try to do this. Okay. So, this guy is so interesting because he's talking about how through, I don't know if I want to call it a hallucinogen, because he's talking about DMT, right? The drug DMT, or ayahuasca, that has an active ingredient, DMT. And he's talking about how when you take a DMT, that it takes you to this other part, like it unlocks something in your brain that connects you to a universe that exists that we are unable to see when we're sober, right? Like, I'm probably botching this up, and I really hope that you guys listen to it, because not to say that it's truth, right? But it's always good to just hear different perspectives on things, right? Because if I see my hand this way, you might be at a different angle, and you might see my hand this way and notice something that I didn't get to see, right? Or someone else might be in a different position, and they might see this part of my hand that I can't see because I'm looking at it this way, right? So it's kind of the same thought with ideas, right? Like, there's just so many different perspectives, and I feel like in order for you to get the best understanding of something, you need to have an open mind. And you need to listen to other people's points of view. Regardless if you believe it, you're for it, you're against it, right? Like, if I'm a vegetarian, I'm not going to tell all meat eaters, shut the fuck up, you're absolutely wrong, I'm right, you're doing everything the wrong way. And for anyone that does that, immediately my brain turns off, and I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. We're not having a conversation because you're just not mature or capable enough to do that yet. So I negate everything that comes out of their mouth when I notice that they're closed-minded, right? Opposed to the vegetarian that's like, I don't eat meat, these are my reasons, but I respect you and your reasons, and I'm actually very curious as to why you choose to eat meat, right? So now you can have a conversation and probably learn something, even though you're like, I still don't want to consume meat, but I can respect the reasons why you do and respect the reasons why you don't. And now we could be friends or not be friends, but I've taken some information from this conversation. I might be able to apply it, I might not be able to apply it, but something is taken away from that conversation, right? Whether that's something as simple as, we can never be friends, or something as deep as, oh shit, like there's there's a lot of nutritional benefits to eating meat. Or, oh shit, like global warming is happening because there's so many cows, you know, farting all over the place. So, oh man, maybe I should consider the amount of meat that I like. You change, right? So, I guess I'm just trying to say, really listen to this podcast because it's fucking flipping my mind. And DMT and drugs and kind of turning to that stuff has never been something that I've been like really for, nor am I against. But because I don't understand enough of it, I always like to be in control of my own life, right? Like, I'm always like, I don't like being dependent on any sort of substance because now I see it for myself as a form of weakness. So I'm like, even something as simple as coffee, right? I'm like, what the fuck? I can control how tired I'm gonna be, right? So that means I just need to go to bed sooner. Well, if I don't have that luxury, then I'm gonna take a nap during the day. Well, if I don't have that luxury, I don't know, I'll find different ways. I just hate having to feel dependent on something. So because of things like that, and I like being in control of my own destiny, if you will, drugs and sorting through my problems while on drugs has never been an option for me. But while listening to Graham Hancock on the Joe Rogan Experience, I'm like, holy shit, this is actually riveting information, and I'm like kind of blown away by just this new school of thought. So, and just the fact that like someone has an idea of what happens to you after death, right? Outside of, okay, you either go to heaven or you go to hell, or all those other ones that we know. But it's just something that's so interesting. And, you know, after my dad passed back in 2016, like, I never made it official. I don't like shedding light on things that are that personal for me, because it's just something that, I don't know, I don't feel like I always have to share every single thing. And that's one of those things where I'm like, if I tell you about it, what benefit do you get other than you feeling sad? And that's the last thing I ever want you guys to feel. Like, I know we all have our problems and whatnot, and I'm not in a bad place where I need to talk about, you know, passing of loved ones. And because I'm coping with it, because it's obviously a coping mechanism for me, because I'm coping with it fine, I don't feel like I need to share it. So I don't. But I bring that up to say that when he passed, I've been fortunate enough not to have many family members pass. So when he passed, it really did put into my mind, more so than ever, of what really happens to us when we die. And I'm like, fuck. I hate getting into things that no one has the answer to. Because I'm like, fuck, I'm not in the present anymore. I'm kind of going into the deep end. And yes, it's interesting, but for me, it's just gonna make me sad, because I'm like, there's no answer. I'm scared now, and it's gonna build some sort of anxiety of like, right? And for some people, they're like, oh, well, that fuels me to live in the moment and to seize the day and fucking carpe diem that motherfucker. But that's not me. For me, it's more like, oh, Lord, that's kind of scary. Yeah, I do need to live in the moment, but I'm like, oh, now what happens? So I really try not to think about shit like that. So now when I hear this and what Graham is saying about, he says some fucking shit like, when you're on DMT, you can see, and he feels, or he thinks now, from what he's experienced on DMT, that you take this trip around like the Milky Way and through the galaxy, and you're put through a lot of trials and tribulations and tests and stuff. And I'm like, what? This is wild, because it does sound like heaven and hell still, right? Like an aspect of it. I just feel like I'm rambling, but like I feel like this is such an interesting thing, you guys, and I'm like sharing it with y'all because you guys are my friends. But yeah, I'm just sitting here and I'm like, oh, whoa, I gotta vlog about this. I gotta share it with you guys. But yeah, so if you want to trip the fuck out, It's a long podcast. Let me see when he starts specifically talking about that. Oh, wait. Oh, man, I can't see it. Because I don't want to be on my phone. But let me see at what point. I'm trying to look at the timestamp. At, like, 50 minutes in. After an hour. So about, like, at an hour in, the whole thing is really interesting, but if you want to hear that one piece, about an hour into it, he starts talking about the whole DMT thing. So it's Joe Rogan Experience, podcast 1284, with Graham Hancock. Okay, there. And know that I'm not even looking at you guys. I'm looking here, but I got the glasses on. So, yeah. Going to the office now. Thank you for listening to my rants and my rambles. I feel like I can just do a podcast by myself, honestly. Because I can just talk forever. Because there's just... I don't know if it's interesting, though. So, thank you anyway. I would give you the double, like, humble, like, thank you. But I need my other hand, which I can't because I'm driving. But, yeah.
Are you saying the gimbal is...
right. So... we are now in the podcast room, and Nads is setting us up, and we were just talking about the camera. Wait, there he is.
Loves episode 3 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we spent another, like, 20 minutes talking about episode 3 of Game of Thrones. So I think we have to bring Nads on so we can talk about Game of Thrones, because he knows all the theory. He knows a lot of background story that I don't know about.
He hates the show, so George R. Martin, if you're watching and there's a premiere tickets, don't give it to him.
Yeah, he says you're a bitch.
Freaking hates the show.
It's fine, I got HBO.
Yeah. Kit Harington, if you ever see him, don't take a picture with them.
You know the HBO cast went to, or the Game of Thrones cast went to the last story seminar?
What?
And like on the emails, it's basically saying like their recommendations. Like Melisandre
that's so tight.
You know what I did? I paid for Emily Clark.
Daenerys Targaryen?
Yeah. Emilia Clark.
Oh, wow.
For her fundraiser, but it also enters me to win.
Omaze?
Uh-huh.
I did
Omaze.
that too.
Yeah, you did how much?
The 25 hours to the other 20.
I did $100 because I cared about the cause, and I want to be flown out to London to watch the
She gave the biggest spoiler in that. That's how I knew she wasn't gonna die.
Oh, because she's gonna be in it still?
She basically said,
watch it with me?
Watch it with me. The last episode is the last time you'll ever see me and my dragons. So I was like, oh, okay, she's not gonna die in this episode.
Does that mean she's just saying that because the show's gonna end, or she's saying for that specific episode?
It could be both, but he's just saying that she's gonna make it to that episode.
Yeah.
So she's not dying on the next one.
Oh, I see.
Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I mean, anything can happen.
I speak Afghan.
Farsi.
English.
Farsi is the actual language.
You speak Farsi?
What is it? Of the Afghani tribesmen?
Oh, because we're rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, we're rolling. We're rolling. Okay, all right, bye. Look at all those little kids on this turf soccer field. Oh my god, this is so damn cute. I'm like a big creep. Because I'm sitting in my car, well, Papa's car to be exact. Because I just got back from the dentist. And I got a teeth cleaning, but they're probably pink right now. Because I'm chewing on gum. And the report was really good. I'm just gonna get a couple things upgraded. Whoa, look at this funky house. No, I missed it. Look. I missed it. Damn it. I missed it really bad. But yeah, I just want to show you guys all the little kids. Because I always think like, oh my god, I could put Taika in that. How cute. Okay, I'm going to focus on driving because this is not my car. Back home. It only took an hour. Dude, LA traffic sucks. It took me an hour 15 to get home. But I'm finally home. My butt hurts. I was sitting in traffic for so damn long. Finally got reunited with the baby. We see the baby. Hi, baby. And we see the baby.
I'm a baby.
Yep.
You want pizza?
We're about to order some food. How did you know?
I just know your style.
We were looking for the remote and here it is. You're so right. Alright, y'all. So, put the dude to bed. Watch this movie called Mid-90s. It's really cute. It's just about, like, skateboarding culture in the 90s, but it's centered around, like, these group of kids, troubled kids. And it was really good, but I'm very sleepy. Tomorrow I have my writing course. What the fuck?
kidding.
And yeah, I gotta wake up early, so it's gonna be me and Tiff. But how you saw Papa's was really rough to film. So is mine. So Papa's gonna spend a day with Taika, which is good because Taika's been hating him these days. He's been hating him these days. So thank y'all for listening to my crazy car rants. I really appreciate you guys. Let me know if you like my little rants. I don't know. Maybe I'm sharing too much. Maybe I'm not. Maybe you guys are digging it. Maybe you guys are like, ugh, go away. Anyway, communicate it with me. Let me know what I gotta do. Okay, thank you guys. See you guys tomorrow.